What do you feel separates Lucifer from other comic book adaptations?
I think to me what's great about it is every comic book adaptation has to have its own corner, right? The Flash is like freewheeling embracement of exactly what it is. The Arrow is sort of like a noir-ish sort of dark look with a touch of supernatural. We're a detective show with an exploration of desire. What Lucifer does is it's all about humanity and desire and elements like that. So we're like a cool noir-y thing that plays on the levels of other shows, but I think exists in its own corner. As long as you're exploring your own different story, I think there's room for as many comic book shows as possible. And that's the fun. Is we're a hold on, let me get this right. Horror, drama, comedy, character-driven supernatural show. We're like a weird stew of everything, and I think that's what really makes us a little different.
Creatively, what does it open up, the fact that no one believes he's the devil?
I mean, that's the fun of it, right? You can literally walk up to anyone and be like, oh, I'm Lucifer Morningstar, the devil, and they're like, oh, fine, whatever. And especially in Hollywood, the one place where someone would actually do that, like having that ability to set it in Los Angeles, have him just walk around and introduce him exactly as who he is. I've never seen that version of the devil before, and it's so much fun. And Tom has such glee whenever he does it that it's infectious.
He's one of those guys you just want to go hang out with,
right? Oh yeah, I mean, believe me, this whole week I've been like, Tom, please hang out with me, be my best friend. He's awesome, and he's just got such a great. You want to be him, and you want to be traveling with him, like sitting next to him in the car. And he's also just a really good guy in person, so it comes off on the screen.
What are your thoughts about this golden age of comic book adaptations we're experiencing here in Comic-Con and in general?
I mean, I think people are taking the material seriously, but also not being afraid to change when needed. Like, I mean, look at like the Harry Potter movies. Like, it was the third movie where they decided to start changing things that it really got good, but they still stayed true to the soul of it, and that I think is the key. Like the Flash changed a lot of stuff, but really it's a show about hope and how fast you can run. We changed a whole lot about Lucifer, but really it's a show about a wayward son trying to find his place in the world.
When it comes to comic books, we've seen a lot of them adapted to video games. What would the Lucifer video game be?
It would be a drinking game.
You're the second person to say it's a drinking game.
That's awesome. And then maybe, depending on the legality of it, a smoking game, depending on what country you're in, or what state.
What are you drinking, though? At what point are you drinking?
What Scotch? Did you say what point?
No, like, when are people drinking?
Oh, I think that's how you start the game. Okay. So you start it with a shot. Actually, I wouldn't. No, Lucifer wouldn't rush it. You start with a glass, and then you like sort of play around with a crime scene, but instead of like trying to solve the crime, you're playing with the toys and like trying to do silly stuff, and then say, uh-oh, another drink showed up. You drink, and then you wander around and kick someone in the nuts. I think that's the game.
Cool, thank you very much. DB said it was a drinking game too.
Awesome.
Yeah.